Alright, so we're finally going to take a look. Finally going to talk about Terminator Dark Fate. Bought it yesterday, watched it again today, and I don't get to hate for this movie. I don't get to hate for most of the Terminator sequels. Everybody holds Terminator 2 in high regard. Everything else after that sucked. And I don't believe in that. I think every Terminator film has brought something different to the table. They're all good in their own way. And this one is no different. But the hate for this one I sort of get because it all stems to the first scene in this film. It's set in 1998 and it has Sarah Connor and a youngified Sarah Connor, which is great how they did her, and John Connor, which, okay, when they said Edward Furlong was coming back, I wasn't excited because I knew what they were going to do. I knew it was going to be a cameo, a younger version of him, because they refused to use the older version of him for some reason. I know he got fat. I know he went to drug abuse. But wouldn't it make sense? Like, oh, he's in rough shape when they were doing Terminator 3, so he can't be... Well, hello? Use him! Why? Why? What? Well, you were told that from birth, you were going to be a savior of mankind. And you and your mom stopped the Terminators. Now they have him living off the grid in Rise of the Machines. And he's, ironically, doping himself up with animal tranquilizers. So why can't you have Edward Furlong doing that? He's fat, so what? You can let yourself go. Your mother died, and you're not sure if Terminators are still coming to get you or not. You're going to be in a rough patch. They could have used him. And here, everybody got excited. Someone excited. Oh, Edward Furlong's coming back. No, it's a little scene, and it's just a younger version of him. That doesn't make any sense, because this is 1998, and the version they used hasn't aged since the 1991 version of him. It's literally the same. He would be older than that, but they used the version that looks like 1991 version is what it is. Because they couldn't figure out what, 1998 alone, you could have just used, footage, what he looked like in American History X. Something like that. Minus the skinhead. You could add the hair. Use your technology. And then they did it. Terminator shows up. Very good CGI, by the way. Looking like Arnold from 1991 version. Blows him away. Kills John Connor. First 5 minutes. And you move on. People got pissed. Oh, they killed off John Connor. This movie sucks. So much that they didn't give the rest of the movie a chance. They were pissed off from the get-go. Now, I'll admit, when I saw that scene, I did get a little pissed. But I gave the movie the benefit of the doubt. I said, they're going to do something that bold within the first 5 minutes. They had to be going somewhere. And they do. They show you that they succeeded. What Sarah, and John, and the T-800 did back in 1991 worked. There is no Skynet. There is no Cyberdyne. There are no Terminators created by Skynet. Now they explain how multiple Terminators can keep coming back. Like I said in the third film, when I did my review for the third film, that if they defeated them in the second film, how is there still unknown in the third one? Well, if you don't count Genesis and Salvation, You think about it. Contingency plans, right? Send a Terminator. Send many Terminators to different points in time to take down, to try to finish their mission. And they did that. And again, like I said in a previous review, what happens after a Terminator succeeds? We find that out here. So, like I said, many people were pissed when they killed off John Connor. Immediately, everybody just said, fuck this movie. Didn't give it a chance. I gave it a chance. And, yeah, it makes sense. Skynet is not the threat anymore. Legion is. John Connor is no longer the savior. Did they need to kill him off? No. It wouldn't have made a difference either way. But it doesn't matter. He's dead. Fine. He's not needed. Would it have made sense for the younger John Connor to help instead of the old Sarah Connor? Yes. But they wanted her. They wanted Linda Hamilton back. And not for nothing, she does great in this film. Very good. So does Arnold for what he's given. People shitting on how they used Arnold in this movie. I thought it was great. I thought the idea, yes, it may be a little preachy when it comes to the fact that it's about 3 women trying to save the world. And you may say, agenda movie, female empowerment, Black Christmas 2019. That's all I gotta tell you. You think this is an agenda film? Watch that. And I haven't even seen it, and I know it's an agenda film. The trailers told me it was an agenda film, and that's why I didn't watch it. Anyone who went to see that movie, thinking they were going to see something good, joke's on you. Okay, so yeah. Well, it wasn't necessary to kill off John Connor. It worked, because he's not needed anymore. He did his job. He stopped Judgment Day. In the context of what he was supposed to do, he finished his job. Now we got a new enemy, Legion. And Legion is after Danny, because she is going to lead a resistance. Now they try to play it up like she's just like Sarah Connor, and she gives birth to the person who saves the world. Well, right away you can see it's different, because they sent a woman back instead of a man. Don't you think she needed a man to make a child? I'm just saying. I mean, she could adopt, but it's not the same. I'm just saying. So they sent Grace back, and she's a human with robotic parts. And she's sent back to help. But that's one of the things I didn't care for, is the fact that she had to keep injecting herself with something, vitamins or something, so that she could keep going. I understand human Terminator hybrid stuff might overheat your body. Sure. Fine. But this is future technology. If they hadn't figured out how to stop it from doing that in the future, come on. And I gotta say, this movie has a lot of filler in it. Do we really have to see their journey over the border? Do we really need to see them get on a train, try to go to the border, get arrested, thrown in a jail, then be followed by the new Terminator, the Rev 9, then escape, all that? No. It's 25, 30 minutes of stuff they could have taken out to make this movie shorter. This movie is 1 hour and 28 minutes. Okay, a little over 2 hours. It's 128 minutes. So, 128 minutes. Yeah, 128 minutes. I was right. Just over 2 hours. But I said hours from it. 128 minutes. Just a little over 2 hours. Now, keep in mind, you take out that whole thing from crossing the border. You just go from... Because you got that part, and then you got this whole part with the plane and the Jeep and explosions and all that stuff. That is cool. Seeing them get arrested just so the Rev 9 can find them and then they escape again, that's just kind of pointless. If we spent more time in that, it'd be kind of boring, but if the final stand, if they had a reason to keep them there, they don't, not really. It just doesn't make... I just don't like that part. Take it out, and you're fine. Just say, we gotta cross the border. I know a guy. And then you cut to a scene where they're on the other side of the border and say, hey, your friend really came in handy. I told you he could help us. You know? Yes, that's my Sarah Connor. I told you he could help us. That's all you need to do. And then you meet Carl, which is what the Terminator is doing now. Now, some people have shat on over this too, like, oh, why would a Terminator care? A Terminator is programmed to, do all this stuff, to get close to you. It's what it does. It's programmed to adapt. Like with this new Rev 9, it's the most human Terminator I have seen. You know, it makes jokes. It acts human, not just like this. It actually talks normal. You know, like the scene where, I don't care for this part of the movie, when he's got to go to the metal detector, he goes, get ready for a big old beep. And he goes through and it beeps and he goes, metal hip. I served 2 terms or whatever. And they're like, thank you for your service. And he walks off. I don't know if you could just get away with it like that, but that's great camouflage. They're supposed to adapt to their surroundings. So the fact that Carl has adapted to his surroundings after finishing his mission, not knowing what a purpose is, and running into this woman whose child is going to be killed by her husband, yeah, he found a purpose. Now, I do think the whole thing about what kind of relationship he's in with her, like, it's not physical, he's like a protector to them or something, it's just, I don't know how that would work. But I'm not angry at what they did with Carl. Sarah's anger towards Carl it's appropriate. You know, I'd be angry too if I had to go stare face to face and work with the Terminator that killed my son. I'll tell you right now. But, of course, you gotta have this arc for her character. Get over this whole thing. By the end, I'm not fucking calling you Carl, or whatever. And then by the end, she actually calls him Carl, and he saves her. And yeah, she's getting these messages, all ending with Fort John and the coordinates to where the Terminators land. And Fort John. Here's the problem I have with that. So, Carl has been getting these messages or something that tells him when Terminators are going to land in a current time, current place. That works for the Skynet Terminators that were all set out at one point. not for the Rev 9. Why would a Skynet Terminator be able to track a Legion Terminator? That's what doesn't make any sense. How could he get information from a different source? He was sent by Skynet. So whatever Terminator is sent by Skynet to finish the jobs, he'd be able to sense where they're coming from. He'd be able to, figure out where they are, send Sarah to kill them. He would not be able to get a message from a different, from Legion's, Terminator. He wouldn't be able to, get, any message about that. It wouldn't make any sense. He's made by a different, futuristic entity. He's made by Skynet, not Legion, therefore it wouldn't work. I'm just saying. But, yeah, an ending, it's bittersweet. I think Sarah should have died. I know they're setting up the future with this. But, and we're probably not going to get a sequel, but I could say you don't need one. Like the original Terminator, this was not about stopping something. It was about saving someone. Yes, stopping this Terminator from killing her, but it's not about stopping a Judgment Day. Just like the first Terminator, it's about saving someone, protecting someone, and Grace does that. And then you see them standing, looking at younger Grace. Much like I said in my first Terminator review, if they don't do any future films after this, in this timeline, I'm fine with it. Would I like another one? Hell yeah. But, is it needed? Not necessarily. Because if you think about it, much like the original Terminator, I keep saying this, it ends on a note where Judgment Day is coming, but they didn't need to stop it. They didn't try to stop it. They know it's coming. They know stuff's going to happen. And now they're just waiting. Grace, much like Reese in the first film, completed her mission. She did what she was supposed to do. Everything within the plot has been tied up. There's no post-credit scene like in Genesis. Because, I didn't say this in my Genesis review, if they had not included that post-credit scene showing that Matt Smith's Skynet is still alive, could have been another standalone film. Yes, they're trapped in 2017. So what? Doesn't mean, in all intents and purposes, they stopped Genesis. And it could end there. And it kind of did. But then you have that little tangling thread that is the fact that Skynet is still alive that ruins that. They didn't add a post-credit stinger here or anything. This could be the end. If they never make another sequel attached to this storyline, if 5-10 years down the line to do another Terminator movie and it's not connected to this one, that's fine. This story could be at its end. I would welcome a sequel to this, but as it is, it's fine. Oh no, guys, I didn't hate this movie. I gotta give it let's give it a 7 out of 10. Pretty decent Terminator film. For the return of Linda Hamilton, it's pretty good. So what are your thoughts on Terminator Dark Fate? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you for the ranking, baby. Yes, I haven't done a ranking in a long time. In a while, actually. Alright. Also working on some countdowns for my birthday month, so look for those. But yeah, ranking. I can't wait. When this video is going to be uploaded? As soon as I'm done pushing the button. Bye!